Hello, everybody, and welcome to another beautiful night of WMU Varsity Esports Gaming. I'm here today with Max, and I'm Chris. And how's it going, Max?
Going pretty good, Chris. Thank you for joining us all in the chat. If you're at home, if you're in the arena, you can always watch the games live in our arena where you can see our players right now. Thank you for showing up there. Definitely, all love to the Broncos is good love for us. We can see our five champions in the making right there, situated for their uh, it's gonna be a game tonight that we are against first seed. I think Ball is first seed. Um, they have a very daunting team. Some say that this is an uphill battle for Western. Today's game is going to be an uphill battle. We see Juman yawning already as this is just going to be the easiest night of his life. Another stomp for him. Another blue screen for him. But uh, but yeah, this is going to be a tough one. What do you think, Chomp?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough game for WMU. You know, the Ball State has notoriously been known for having scholarships to play League of Legends, so they get paid money to play the video game, and they find like the best players. So it's definitely going to be a tough game for WMU, but they try to have fun with it every year. So I'm just hoping the boys can have fun, and still try to win possibly.
Yeah, I remember when I played against Ball State when I was on the team. We locked five characters that were really good at breaking towers, and we just tried to break as many towers as we could. We got really close to the Nexus, but sadly we did not win. And it looks like jumping into the draft here, things are going pretty standard. Ball State has banned Mel and Anivia, so No Chill is getting double banned, and then the Varus goes through. I think that's just a strong champion. I'm not sure if anyone Western has played it too much recently, but just a strong champ to take out of the mix. Western side, we've banned Jarvan, Nico, and Yunara. I know that their bot laner is a very strong Yunara player. Um, I saw that they were challenger, which is again one of those daunting things, one of those uphill battles. Western does not currently have any challengers, but yet. I'll add the yet on the end of that. We don't yet have any challengers. I do believe that all five members of Western will be challenger by the time the semester's over.
Yeah,
Regardless,
I
we
would
see
agree.
Corky B1 for Western. Ball State responds with Nami and something else. Not sure what it's going to be. Could really be anything, to be honest. My guess, I don't know. It could be Lucian. Lucian would be a dangerous pick for sure. Yeah, I was gonna say
Maokai.
they could just hold their ADC pick for now. It's not like Western can really do anything about it. And then the Maokai comes out. Obviously, not going to be a support Maokai, so that'll likely be in the jungle. Of course, could go top lane, but you don't really see that much these days. So likely their jungler. Western is probably going to respond in kind with their own jungler. There's the Monkey King. Monkey King swaps over to Doctor Mundo at the last second. Now that's definitely something that could be flex top or jungle. I still saw that the Wukong's name is Monkey King in this drafter. So strange.
Yeah, they must use a different draft or compared to what
Yeah.
others use.
The Braum comes out. Very good pick. Kind of like preemptively, proactively, I should say, negating the strength of Lucian Nami, which of course I think they're expecting. Although, Nami's good with anyone. They could lock APCs here. They could lock Caitlyn. You can really do anything with a Nami. But the Braum is going to do a lot of good work to mitigate the strength of the lane and also empower the Corki. So they go for Nami Kog'Maw. And that Corki Braum lane struggles very heavily against lanes that outrange them. So on that Kog'Maw's W timer, they're gonna have to give a lot of respect. But of course, early game Kog'Maw a lot less damage than Corki Braum. So let's see if Western can get some power into that bot lane in the early game. Anyways, into the second ban phase, they take out the third mid laner of the game. Malzahar is gone. Western's gonna respond likely with a mid laner. Nope, they go singed.
Nope, the fucking singed.
you know, The Jax ban makes a little more sense, and they do get rid of the Jax. I mean, who knows?
You
Maybe the
know,
Singed is just the ultimate counter pick to all team comps. Needs to go.
I would be so surprised in a formal
The
game like this
fourth
if
mid lane
Singe was
ban.
played.
It's not that surprising. Singe is really good into lanes where he's really good. He can take a lot of advantage of the jungle pressure he gets from proxying, and especially in competitive, if you can't deal with the Singe proxy, you might as well kiss your top side goodbye because he's going to collaborate with his jungler, and they're going to get that top side. Anyways, they do not elect for the Singe ban, it looks like, and they go for the Jax and a Scion. And I was saying, 4 mid lane bans from the side of Ball State. I don't want to speak too soon, but I think Noah Chill is making them shake in their boots a little bit. And
Yeah,
there's the
Noah
Orianna.
has 5 mid laner bans besides the Varus. Definitely,
Yep, and 5 minus 1
definitely
is 4.
seem mid lane focused, and they picked the Orianna. So Noah Chill's going to pick the Ari, which is a
Yeah, they do leave the
favorable
Ari pick.
matchup.
I think the Ari pick is good. I mean, it's certainly, I don't think it's terribly winning into Orianna, but it's not a bad matchup. And if you're banning 4 mid laners, you kind of want to put them in a bad matchup. Fortunately, mid lane's just kind of that's that lane where, like, I don't know. There's 25 million mages, and they have Timo. There's 25 million mages, and they all kind of do the same thing where they can play safe and farm. Like, he could have picked Hui here. He could have picked Syndra. There's so many different things that are just safe. And they banned 4 mid laners, but there's plenty more to come that are safe enough. And the Arya is definitely a really good pick into their team. Zahen,
Hmm.
certainly an excellent blind, and also maintains that flex. The Dr. Mundo and the Zahen can both flex top jungle. And they will, of course, change that up depending on who they see here on the top lane or the jungle. Like Maokai has that same
Hmm.
situation where he can be flexed, but probably will not go top lane. And there's the Darius. I have to imagine they're going to send the Zahen into that, as Dr. Mundo does not have a very fun time in that lane early.
Yeah, we will most likely see the purple man in the jungle and Zahen in the top lane. How would you even describe Zahen? Just like a big guy with a big glaive?
A big guy with a big glaive. Megachomp,
Yeah.
I think you did it perfectly. I
Uh,
do want to point out that the team composition is kind of showing 4 AP champions and a champion with no percent health into a Dr. Mundo.
yeah.
So the draft is certainly one where Ball State, the onus is on Ball State to not let the Mundo get out of control here, which means they might have some invades going on. They might have some tricky little ganks going on to throw Wolfblood off his tempo, something like that. We got Noodle yawning too. Man, the whole team is a little tired right now, guys. We gotta lock in, gentlemen. And there's Dewman cracking up a joke, locking back in. They are in it to win it. Um, and Sparty Party still as a gargoyle. Look at him; he hasn't moved a single muscle. There he goes. You see how still he was there? He wasn't even inching a move. Um, but yeah, so comp wise, I don't think either team really won this comp draft. I mean, certainly the Cogmouse scales extremely heavily, the Mundo scales really heavily, the Oriana does, the Ari does. There's just, I guess Ari doesn't really. There's a lot of different factors, and I don't think either one team won the draft. But I'd say both teams are happy with the draft that they have. I know Western is all on comfort picks, and we can see the Mundo is going jungle. We know that the Wolfblood is our jungler. Mama Holler, if you're watching, you've seen him play Mundo before. It's the Hulk guy. He's gonna smack camps for a while, and then he's gonna start smacking people because people are gonna start becoming his camps. Chop, did you know that emote selection is disabled until you lock in your pick?
I did not.
Well, if you didn't, it's right there on the bottom of your screen. And it seems like Ball State's game plan is pretty straightforward, self-explanatory. They're going to try to play for that Cogmo. They're going to try to weak side their top lane, and he's going to have a pretty easy time into the Zahen matchup where Zahen can't really fight him. Darius gets his big MacGuffin stacks a lot faster than Zahen gets his MacGuffin stacks. And then the Darius has a lot of kite potential as well, where the Zahen does not have a lot of chase. Yellow Pepper, shout out Yellow Pepper for the Prime sub. Oh my gosh, we don't get a lot of Prime subs. Shout out Yellow Pepper
Oh
for the
wow.
Prime sub, guys. If you have a Twitch Prime sub, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know where the money goes for our Twitch Prime sub. It probably goes to big corporate.
I wouldn't know the answer to that, but it looks like we're getting into game rather quickly. Did they remove spectator delay again? I guess so. Well, there's a stream delay, so I
No,
guess it
there's
makes
a.
sense.
I don't know actually what the case is. I think there's just a delay. Like I think Western started 3 minutes ago, and you and I are watching on the delay.
Oh,
I think that's what's going on because there's no stream delay really. Oh no, there is a stream delay. I lied. Big stream
yeah.
delay. So never mind. Um,
Yeah.
so far all
Well,
good. We do see Mundo opted for the fleet footwork of this game.
mhm.
Help us clear out a little bit, make things a little more speedy. Certainly what he wants to do.
Oh yeah, we're
But yeah,
really getting
everything looks
close.
pretty copacetic. Go ahead.
Oh, I wasn't gonna say much. I was just gonna say
Oh,
zoom
okay.
in on the mundo.
I was
We
zooming
get
on
nice and close.
the little corky booty that we saw right there. Him
Yeah.
wiggle his rump. I love that corky skin.
It's a good skin for sure. Got a
Yep.
little skirmish in the
We
top
see
lane.
both
A
junglers.
little trade in the
Both.
bot lane.
Yep. Stuff going on, that's for sure. Both junglers started their top side, so like we expected, the top side is going to be the weak side for both teams here. You don't really want to spend any resources on that Zahen. He's just gonna, do what he does by himself. Hopefully, not die during the process. And both teams want to make sure that the bot lane is strong. Right
Mm-hmm.
now, double range bot lane. It's kind of just you expect it. They hit level 2 first. At the moment, it doesn't look like a very favorable matchup. Oh, Noodle missed a XP of CS. You see, he's level 1, sports level 2.
Yep.
That's unfortunate. But yeah,
That's
it
kind
doesn't
of
look
funny.
extremely favorable, but it goes much better once they hit level 3. It's just in the double range matchup, it's kind of impossible to get level 2 first. As
Nope.
Noah Chill has to be a little careful. The Maokai flashes onto him at level 3. The charm does land. He does have to flash out of it. It levels up in the process, but that's mid flash on a very not so happy wave. So not an ideal start. No Chill opting to take a reset here, maybe just TP back to fix that wave. Can't really do it on his current HP, so
Yeah.
opting to run
Something
back
to
actually.
note is Maokai went red smite. I don't know if he usually
Okay,
goes
did go
red
red
smite.
smite. I think it's just good because if he ever procs a sapling randomly on the map, it applies that red smite buff. Regardless, I don't even think jungle smite things matter that much anyway these days.
No, not anymore these days.
They do put that pink ward in the top side as there's a skirmish happening over the bot side scuttle. Wolfblood contesting something that I really shouldn't be trying to contest. Meanwhile, a trade comes into the top lane and Juman wins it pretty heavily as he's currently up XP because of this big wave that he's pushing off of a crash. So, good tempo play by him as the charm lands mid. That's going to be some chip damage down there. Juman really needing to crash this next wave. Darius trying to look for an opening while Juman does so. Dashes in, does get hit by the Q and procs the heal. The ignite goes off. Darius forced to flash. So unlucky. He tried to dash into Darius to avoid the heal from the Q, but it just barely still went off. And I think if it didn't, the Darius would surely be dead right now. But still burn a flash off it, and he gets the wave crashed. Super good job top lane. Mundo taking his early back already has a Giant's Belt, and you can see he did end up getting the top Scuttlecraft.
Oh
Oh, and the
wow!
first blood goes to Juman on an excellent dive, knowing that. Oh, okay, executed. It's
And
okay.
he
It's okay. It's okay.
executes. Wow.
A little bit troll. He walks back in there at the end, but he does get what I would call a fast reset, and actually kind of works out super in the favor for him because he's going to get back to lane with a lot more tempo off of that execute. Maybe he just knew. Maybe Juman is just the GOAT. But yeah, excellent execute there. It's going to put him in a huge lead in the top lane. And he goes for ninja tabbies early. You often see that in the top lane these days. Get defensive boots if you're ahead. And especially with Zahen, who just has so much damage from his passive and so much AD from his passive that he doesn't really need offensive items in the early game. He can go for the tabbies and benefit off them greatly. I think Darius is poising as if the Mundo is top lane, and I think that's what Juman thought backing out there. As Nami's going for a ward here, it gets Braum stacked a little bit. This is a little deep to go for the Nami. They do get the stun, and the Nami is forced to flash, but getting converged on from the mid lane. Orianna level 5 does not have the shockwave available. Ghost from the Kog'Maw to get some more chip damage in, and does end up getting a lot of damage on Western's bot lane. As Darius hits level 6 here in the top lane, Juman about to hit level 6 himself, maybe off this cannon minion. Hopefully he does it before a trade happens. And he goes in, gets hit by a heal, lands the W, now has level 6, goes back in, is stacking up. He's going to get his stacks before Darius as this continues, and Darius knows that, has to back up, but he flashes back in, gets the knock-up. Darius gets the heal from it. Oh no, but he has the passive. Darius goes, the bleed is going to collect on this passive. Thankfully, the stacks did not drop before the bleed killed him. That could have been very awkward. As Ball State has claimed some pressure bot lane and will use it to collect on the dragon here. And this just kind of happens with the type of comp that Western has with their jungler. The Mundo is very weak in these skirmishes early. He really has nothing but health to offer, whereas the Maokai has early damage, CC, the works. And so they have to kind of give those situations up. They did burn some summoners from the Nami, but unfortunately Western's bot lane took a lot of damage in that chip trade. So the dragon goes to Ball, but a lot of topside pressure to Jumen here, who is currently up 10 CS. But much of that is being collected on this wave. Unfortunately, was not able to land a kill there. Jacob continuing his clear. Kog'Maw hits level 6 here, while Noodle is level 4.
Wow.
Noodle takes a trade and loses half his health. Things are not going incredibly ideally in the bot lane.
Yeah, being 2 levels
But nobody
down
has died yet.
Yeah, no deaths, but being 2 levels down is definitely a rough scenario to be in.
Yeah, he does level up to 5 here, but he's still a full level down. And currently 20 CS down as well. So some deficits down there, and the Kog'Maw will be scaling this game as a hook lands from both players in the top lane. Juman on 4 stacks expertly dodges that Q that would have meant a lot more damage than what he has right now, as Noodle is getting extremely low, down to 1 HP and has to reset. Collects that wave, but at what cost? Unfortunately, the bubble does not connect. Interesting interaction. If Braum has his shield up and Nami throws a bubble, if it connects with the shield, whether it's getting behind the shield and the shield blocks it, or whatever happens, if it connects with the shield, it will instantly knock the Braum up. So, somehow missed that interaction, but that's a funny one. Usually Braum's shield absorbs projectiles and doesn't let them pass. So that's how it works for that. Maokai goes for some invade vision here, puts a pink ward in that bush. Mundo up 10 CS in the jungle. Certainly a good thing to see. Mundo trying to contest on these grubs. Juman about to have some prio in the top lane, but Darius trying his best to negate any of it.
Walking. Okay.
As a smite comes down, and now they're fighting over the grubs here. Darius has first move, and the Nami's here as well, and the Braum is not here quite yet. They're trying to chase onto the the Mundo. They do end up getting the grubs here, and there's not much to contest at this point. They are bullying the Darius very far away from the top side. He actually has to flash over this wall now. He's completely screwed a little bit, and he does burn that flash. So, very good lead. Oh, a dash in from Noodle, thinking that he wins this. I hope that he does. The Kog'Maw getting low. Flash over the Kog-R. He is being extremely offensive here. Kog'Maw does have flash available and will not have to use it. He is 1 HP. Oh my gosh. Noodle so aggressive there. He flashes towards the wall, and unfortunately, because the Kog'Maw has tier 2 boots, as the skirmish is coming into the top lane, we'll have to talk about that later. Full stacks from the Zahen here as he gets extremely low. No, he doesn't have stacks yet. Oh, he barely gets the kill there. I got so scared. He didn't get, you can see his bar. It needs to be red. So he's 1 hit away. But he didn't have full stacks. So his revive wouldn't have been up. That's the reason. Regardless, as I was saying, the Kog'Maw had tier 2 boots, and Corki does not have any boots, so that allowed the Kog'Maw to kind of just walk out of the interaction, but on 1 HP,
That was
devastatingly
so
sad.
close. So
Yeah, I
close.
really like the aggression there from Noodle. You know, you would assume that he's playing a little passive here because, you know, he's daunted that the enemy ADC's challenger, whatever, whatever. Oh, a flash forward from Sparty Party does land the passive stacks as well, and now the Kog'Maw is forced to flash. Maokai's moving bot lane here, and Sparty Party will fall for this interaction. Now the Mundo is here, but Kog'Maw burning both summoners is able to collect on a kill on the Braum there, as Maokai's there to reinforce the play. Some really strong aggression from Western's bot side. Unfortunately, does not amount to a kill, and the Kog'Maw is going to be able to look at that challenger recall. That guy's cool. Kog'Maw is going to be to recall here with 1,000+ more gold than the Corki has right now, which is a little bit sad. Honestly, the Corki's just kind of broke. The Nami almost has as much gold as the Corki. That's even sadder.
Wow. Yeah. That's a little
Yeah.
tragic.
Yeah, but Juman, on the other hand, not broke. Certainly not broke. Juman fielding a 700 gold lead up in the top lane and is trying to trap the Darius in some tempo here. Darius moves to try to look at a proxy, but Juman's going to take the fight instead of the wave and might end up getting a kill. He dodges the hook as well from the Darius. Darius lands that heal. I hope Juman has his passive available. Darius burns the ghost now to maintain the stacks. The Zahen ult does not land. Darius walking back in with his ghost. Juman dropping waves for this interaction. Flash forward with the knock-up. The Mundo Q does go wide. Juman trying not to die out of this. The ult barely does not connect. I think it might have killed there. But Juman does drop a couple waves of minions to get that kill, which I don't even think was worth that much gold. It was probably like 180 gold, which is kind of crazy.
I mean, burning flash and ult there for 1 kill is definitely not worth it, in my opinion, but it does stop the proxy, so it's something.
The benefit is that the kill goes to the Mundo, and the Mundo getting
Yeah.
gold is definitely what you want out of this game. Noodle trying his best to nullify the gold lead in the bot lane, not let them take as much as they want. And Ball State bot lane going ahead and taking whatever they want anyway, which is a little bit sad. Component-wise, Noodle's at about the same amount of gold right now. So, you know, a fight's not completely off the table. Oh, wait, never mind. I didn't see that the Kog'Maw's quest is finished, and he has his tier 2 boots in his quest slot, so I didn't see that part. So Kog'Maw on tier 2 shoes, Corki no shoes, Kog'Maw full item, Corki half item. Bot lane fights are going to get a lot more dicey right now as Braum is looking to get some deep vision. Might get caught by the Maokai, but does make it out. Juman putting the pressure on topside again. Darius 0-3-0 and still pressuring. The hook goes wide, and now Juman finds a time to fight. He lands that hook himself and is now going to be trying to go in. The Darius Q lands a heal and negates that trade a little bit, but Juman's still going in. He's going to get 5 stacked. Does not quite yet, and now the 5 stack. Darius does have the ultimate available, but the passive from the Zahen is... Oh my god, that was so much damage. Solo kill, and importantly, does not burn the revive. That's on a 4, maybe 5-minute cooldown. I don't actually know. Long cooldown, but not
It's quite long,
cooldown.
but he can reduce it.
How does he reduce it?
The more he builds his passive, the shorter the time gets.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Which is
well, regardless, it is not on cooldown.
interaction.
It is interesting, actually. I actually kind of like that mechanic. Importantly, it's not on cooldown because it wasn't burned. So, a free kill top lane, kind of no expenditure for it. Now, unfortunately, like I said before, Darius not worth much gold himself. He's 0-4-0. He has decent CS, but the 0-4-0 kind of overtakes that, and he's probably worth about 120 gold. So, it's really sad because Juman has to play so well to avoid giving up so much gold as Ball State's taking these plates in the bot lane. Juman has to play so well to avoid getting killed and giving up the gold, but the Darius doesn't really have to care that much as dying is not a huge loss for him. But he is 2 levels down now, and Juman immediately going in to take a fight again. Both hooks land, and the Q will knock up the Darius. Darius does not land a heal on this. 3 stacks, so he's not even able to ult, and he does live with his flash, but he's going to give up quite a lot to do so. And Mundo here to cause some havoc, flashes forward. Darius, no flash of his own, does land the Q heal, but it is far too late for him. Noah here to assist in some way, but it's important that the kill goes to the Ari. First tower, not that's not first tower, sorry. Second tower being taken in the top lane from Juman, who is a threat in this game. Now the Kog'Maw a threat as well, and the Kog'Maw now comes top to match that, the Hen. With the Nami, the Cog just does so much damage, and I imagine that Nami will just be a little bunny and sit right next to the Kog'Maw all game long. But we'll see how Western deals with that situation, as 4 people from both teams have converged into the top side here to try to make some magic happen. Darius
Ignite spent.
heading down to the bot lane. Who's Ignite was spent?
Looking to take the Herald. I don't know. Ball State's looking to push mid
Ball
lane.
State giving the Herald, going to be pushing mid lane. Noodle trying to hold it by himself, but we'll probably have to... Nope. Oh, nice. We got the Herald. I don't know how we got that Herald. We probably shouldn't be able to contest that with how strong the Kog'Maw is, but we do get the Herald, and the Orianna is actually pushed up way too far and probably teleport from this bush, and the teleport now comes out. Do we catch it with a charm? We do. Oh!
No!
He didn't have it warded.
No!
He didn't have it warded. He didn't have it warded. It's as good try as you can get. Unfortunately, it does look troll from our POV, but it was completely blind. So
it's actually just
it did look like it hit. If he hit that, that would have been absolutely insane. But it does go wide. At least I hope
Somehow
it wasn't
it
worded
missed,
or they didn't have some
but...
form of vision there. But yeah, it does unfortunately go wide, and the Orianna is able to get out of that situation. We do drop a Herald top, and it's going to collect on a lot of plates. Juman positioning a little too far up and does get hooked for his troubles. The Orianna ult comes out as well. Darius pops Ghost, but Juman flashes that shockwave, does not get CC'd by it. Meanwhile, 4 members of Ball are converging on this. The Kog'Maw trying to fight the Zahen, and unfortunately will be able to collect on the kill and a second as well. Darius does take that kill on the Mundo.
Having 4 of them toppling with Dragon up is insane. You can see WMU paying to take that Dragon.
Yeah, I think Ball State's mentality was, they can't do it without their jungler. Indeed, they are doing it very slowly, and here comes the Kog'Maw to try to contest it. It's at 3,500. Here comes Kog'Maw, kind of on vision, but now they have to just abandon this dragon. They just didn't have the damage for it. The Corki is not as strong as the Kog'Maw is nearly, and they have to abandon it, and they actually kind of leashed it. So, unfortunate situation. Ball State kind of called Western's bluff there and says, you can't really... Wow, they are on soul point at 17 minutes. Okay, that's not good. That's no bueno.
That is no bueno.
Ball State ADC gonna clip his recall in the VOD for all 7 viewers. Get him, Lemon Pepper. Get him, Lemon Pepper. Sick him, boy.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be Mountain Soul this game, which is just definitely
if Western's able to claim any of those, it is going to be extremely strong for their team, but it doesn't really seem like that's the case. And the Mountain Soul and the Kog'Maw makes things a lot more difficult for Western's team. Darius trying to contest some space in the top lane, but Juman not even a little bit scared of him. Okay, maybe a little bit scared of him, but not too scared of him. As Kog'Maw was contesting some space of his own, just standing in front of everybody and throwing out auto attacks for all he can. Playing very aggressive. Hopefully, at some point, that'll get him killed and the shutdown will fall to Western. But for now, that Bork Rageblade build is going to be very damaging. Meanwhile, Ball State converging on the top lane, Juman having the wherewithal to know that that's happening and backs off. Just going to collect his minion wave. Nothing too much about it. As the Maokai ults to pop the Mundo spell shield and nothing else. So he gets about an 18-second cooldown from the Mundo. And a bit of a wasted ultimate ability from Maokai. That's kind of what you like to see. Unfortunately, there's nothing much to contest with that cooldown being, or with that ability being on cooldown, as both of the strong objectives are currently down right now. But Wolfblood's going to take this as a small win and collect on his jungle camps, of which he has taken many a big trade in the bot lane, as Ari takes about half of the Orianna's health and is now looking to converge for a kill with the Mundo. Meanwhile, Ball State trying to take this mid tower, maybe not going to be able to, as the Orianna looks to be going down. Did burn the ultimate, we didn't see that, but the Orianna did burn her ultimate. Ari burned hers as well, but on a much shorter cooldown because of that malignance, so perfectly fine doing that. And Juman coming to help to defend this mid tower. Darius coming to help to attack it. as the tower looks to be falling. Sparty trying to defend it with his life. Does get engaged on as a knockup lands onto the Kog'Maw, but nothing comes of it. The Maokai does flash away, and in fact, something does come of it. Juman gets caught from the Darius flash into ultimate. Kog'Maw with 11 CS a minute. 2 items, probably a third in base. That guy's an issue.
Yeah, it's definitely starting to become Kog'Maw heavy. Kog'Maw is definitely at 9,500 gold. He's becoming rich. Not that rich, but he's becoming rich.
Unfortunately, he is that rich right now. He is by far the richest in the game. Like I said, 11 CS a minute. Oh, 10 now. Haha, noob recalled. Now 11 CS a minute. He's got 2.5 items here. He's got a Mikhail's from the Ahri as well, which is kind of unfortunate. I mean, there's really not much for Western to do, but hope that once the Mundo hits 3 items, he can kind of ignore the Kog'Maw while he walks through the team. As the Darius is trying to contest some of the Mundo's bot side jungle. Mundo gonna take it with his smite. Game state's looking a little bit difficult for Western, but they are on a scaling comp, so at the moment it is okay. And I will say the Corki will have plenty of damage later on once he gets his second item, but he's definitely behind the curve right now, and that's hurting him a lot. I really think it's unfortunate, but a lot of the game for the ADCs hinged on that one engage that he had earlier on, where he played it extremely well, but he flashed a little too close to the wall and allowed the Kog'Maw to gain too much space towards the river, and not getting that solo kill really hurt him. I think either way he wouldn't have gotten it, but at least he would have burned the Kog'Maw's flash, and then that next play would have been a lot stronger. As Party a little bit caught out in the jungle here. Kog'Maw is able to collect on that one kill and is doing a ton of damage to Wolfblood, who currently has 2 big health items. CC does not land on the Nami as she walks straight through the jungle with no qualms. And Ball State poised to take the Dragon Soul, while the Darius takes plates top, and Western is a little lost on what to do. I think Wolfblood's only play is to try to go for a steal. He does have vision with that pink ward, but gets caught on vision of his own and gets blown up. Dies, and Mountain Soul goes over to Ball State for this game.
Yep. That's RER and Nami R, or not RER, Ori R. Yeah, and they're just sprinting straight for this Baron. WMU not really able to stop them. So
yeah, this is a massive gold and tempo swing for Ball, and I wouldn't even call it a swing. They were already ahead, but this is a big tempo dominance move. They're just going to take the Baron. They're up 3,000 gold at the moment. They'll be up more shortly, and Western's not able to contest it because their jungler's dead. Now, they are going to try to fight after the Baron is done, as the Ahri teleports and has a flank in this fight. Braum does not have the ultimate available, and it looks like Ball is just going to walk out of this. They do burn the Maokai ult to ensure that they can get out of the situation scot-free. And that's that. So free Dragon Soul into Baron.
Good attempt.
And now the Darius is actually, the best of their abilities, but being in that situation to begin with is bad enough, and there's kind of no bailing them out of that. Even if they steal that one, they have to steal 3 more, and same thing's going to happen if they don't. And either way, the Mundo dies, and they're going to get the Baron, and just a bad situation to be in. And looks like the Darius is caught up fully with the Zahen. It's a tough one to play for Western. Now, like I said, it was going to be an uphill battle from the start. So, nothing to be disappointed about in our Westerns. They're playing very well right now. Let's see if they can take this one back. Mundo going for a play in the mid lane. Fortunately, nothing really to play for, as the Mountain Soul and the Baron give Ball State as much dominance as they need. As the Kog'Maw gets tagged by a Braum Q here. Braum dashes in to try to get something. The knockup does miss. The Ori ult also misses, but Braum gets shot down from afar. Mundo gets CC'd and also shot down. The Ari flank will distract them for long enough that the Mundo can live, but that's about the only win they can get in this situation. Zahen was
That
bot lane
entire
and not
trade,
poised to join that fight.
and the only one who lost the Mountain Soul Shield was Maokai.
Yep. Don't worry, he's got it back.
It's
Juman is now here to join the fight as the Maokai ult is popped so that they can get more damage on that tower and force Western to back off. Full Terminus from the Kog'Maw makes things exceptionally difficult for Western, as they find an engage point onto this Darius, who's forced to flash, but they can't follow it. Unfortunately, I don't really see a good way for Western to get back in this game. There's just so much tankiness already. The Terminus and the Mountain Soul, and the amount of frontline and peel that this Kog'Maw has, he's kind of able to free fire the entire game long. Mundo working on his third item. That might be some sort of win con for Western at this point, is just trying to get as many items as possible on this Mundo. You can see how starved he is right now. He just hasn't gotten any Heartsteel stacks because he hasn't been able to hit somebody for that long. I think that's one stack or maybe two stacks that we're looking at. 55 HP.
56.
Trying to make
Yeah,
something
56
happen here.
is like 2 or 3 stacks.
A charm does land, and Mikhail's immediately onto the Kog'Maw there. Mundo looking for some sort of flank, but doesn't have any flash available or anything like that. They do get the Mikhails, though, and that's a pretty long cooldown, but I don't think they're going to have an opportunity to fight before it's back up anyway. So they're trying to chase Ball State out of here, and Ball State says, okay, you can have the space back. We're going to go back. We're going to take our camps. Their Baron almost out, is out.
Yeah, more notably, the Elder should be up not too long. That's definitely a big fight angle for both teams.
Yeah, I'm sure that Elder will decide the game. If that Kog'Maw gets Elder buff, there's really no stopping him at that point. So Western knows that this needs to be contested, and we can see. I think we saw it was up. It's hard to see because the that side of the screen is a little warped, but I believe the Elder is up here, and Western doing their best to contest some space. Mundo loses half of his HP bar. More has to ult to get out of this situation as the Kog'Maw is just running him down. Darius on a flank here. Western trying to hold some space for this Elder Dragon, loses the Braum and a lot of cooldowns from the team, and it doesn't even look like Ball State cares much about the Dragon. They are just going to barrel down mid lane with the lead that they got from that skirmish, and barrel down bot lane as well. Take that inhibitor, and we'll see from there. Yeah, Western's in a bit of a pinch here, bit of a pickle to be sure. As the Kog'Maw barreling down the bot lane, taking that inhibitor. They're going to be looking towards these Nexus towers next. Oh my gosh.
2 autos.
Takes about half his health. 2 autos, yeah. That Rage Blade was stacked up, and he had that Borg proc, and just from there went poorly. Now the Zahen is up, and if anybody can kill, CC does not land on the. Oh, a weird visual bug there, but the Zahen flash Q'd the Darius for the knockup. Now, if anyone's capable of killing the Kog'Maw, it's going to be the Zahen. Unfortunately, with no flash, it gets a little bit more difficult, but they had to get some sort of lead before the dragon spawns, and Juman gets caught trying to play mid lane, moving towards the dragon. Now more people die. Mundo's 1 HP, dies to a Kog'Maw. Noodle trying to run to his tower, gets flashed on. Oh, bit of a non-bow from the Maokai and the Orianna, as the Maokai tries to get behind Noodle to cue him backwards, but in doing so, the shockwave sends him on the other side of the Maokai and back to the base. But unfortunately, doesn't much matter.
Unfortunately,
reverse sweep incoming. I agree, Yellow Pepper.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Kog'Maw just got to play the game, and nobody stopped it. But overall, good efforts on WMU. Like we've said before, it's a rough game for them to play. But they did a great job for game 1. It's not like an absolute stomp. They definitely tried their best. So we'll look forward to game 2. Any thoughts?
Yeah, They had a very impressive early game. They did a lot better than they were expected to into a team like this. And I don't know if a win is on the table. A team like Ball State is extremely strong, but maybe, and we can always hope for it. So we're gonna send it back to Prod, and we'll see you guys for game 2.
Hello,
And
everybody. Welcome back
we are back.
to an.
We're so back. We
We
can see
are ready
Western
to lock in.
mid-draft talk. Yeah, look at them.
Looks like
Look at them locked in already.
they're having a talk, a long talk for sure, and we're missing Sparty Party.
And Noah Chill. Don't forget about Noah Chill.
Yeah, and no chill.
Some bathroom users right now. Yeah, we are getting ready for game 2 here. Switching up the game plan, see what we can cook up in the draft. It's it's going to be a tough game for sure. And Western, the trajectory always shows that if we lose game 1, mentality is down for game 2, and it gets a little harder. But they're going to try to take a game. Of course, they're going to try to take 2 games, try to take the set. But right now, goal is to take the next game. Keep your eyes on the prize, and let's see how it goes for us.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Not much to talk about here. I mean, got Ball State coming up, round 2.
No chills back.
Wish we could
Got some
play
water.
Little right now.
We can. I already played the Little for today, unfortunately. I played the Wordle. No, actually, I didn't play the Wordle for today. You want to play the Wordle, Chris?
Oh yeah, we could do Wordle.
No, you better not. Not on the Varsity stream. Maybe on Piffage stream, Kevin Nucleus stream.
Maybe on
but
club streams, which should be starting.
Club stream, Kevin Nucleus
here.
stream. Yeah. Did we know any club players? I don't know if I know any club players. I don't think I know a single one.
Yeah, you don't know a single club player.
Yeah. The funny joke there, guys, is my co-caster here, Chris, is on the club team, who will be starting their streams up shortly, and that's going to be an exciting thing for us. But yeah, nothing really to talk about right now. We got the players coming back, getting ready, getting locked in once again. Draft should be starting in probably a couple minutes from now. But for the time being, we're locking back in. We got Sparty Party back in his seat. We got Noah Chill back in his seat. We got Wolfblood getting the mid set coaching. Shout out HBox for the mid set coaching. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. But yeah, we have a reverse sweep coming.
Yellow Pepper said sub me and oh boy.
Oh yeah.
We'll see some beautiful work from Yellow Pepper once our club season starts. So be looking forward for that at least. Yeah.
Any picks you expect to see in this draft today? This game.
I honestly haven't looked at the OP that much. I'm gonna assume the bans will stay the same. So baiting that Yunara, that the Challenger ADCs plays a lot. Things like that. I don't know. We'll probably see if they keep the same bans. Most likely, we'll see Noah's Way, or we might see something else that he's played before, or we might just see something he's never played before. At least on one of these streams. Who knows what they're going to do today, or for this game specifically. That's a big yawn from Noodle. Looks like the team is getting ready finally. Headsets on. Locking in. Should have the draft up shortly. And speaking of draft, there we are.
Here we go, jumping into the draft. We are switching sides for this, so Western's taking red. We see a Mel ban from Ball State, which is what they banned last game as well. See if we get that Anivia ban as well. Same Jarvan ban. There's the Anivia. See if we get the Yunara. That
Nico.
was the neat.
Okay.
Well, yeah, same one from last. They got the Varus ban. They banned their own Unara. So now Western is stun locked. They're like, well, shoot, we were going to ban Unara. Now who do we ban? And then they banned no one. That was Ball State's strategy there. Fortunately, going to backfire as Western is probably going to ban somebody. So they get rid of the Jinx here. And Ball State picks that Varus. Western allowing that Varus to go through. Probably don't think it's that strong anymore. And, some nerfs did go through towards it. So
Yeah.
letting it go
I mean, who
through.
does Noodle play that's good into it? Smolder.
Smolder is apparently the answer, as the Smolder is hovered and locked.
I
See what
can't say
Western.
I've seen Noodle play Smolder before, but hey, we're here, so.
You know what? Noodle can play every champ in the game and every role in the game. He's just that good.
Most likely sees. Oh,
Bessa coming out
Ambessa
now. That
is
could
not
be
a
flex
pick I
top and
expected.
jungle. Yeah, I didn't expect it either. It's definitely a strong pick, and not something that I was prepared for. So we're gonna see how that pans out.
I've seen Ambessa in a lot of jungle games lately, and she's just so strong.
She's very strong in the jungle. The Vi and the Kali get locked from Ball State. They're going for a very aggressive team comp this game. Western likely going to lock their mid laner here. Malzahar was banned last game, is let through in this one, and not a terrible matchup into Akali. Akali's slipperiness and ability to dip back into her shroud after using those spells is what makes her really strong in these fights, and the Malzahar is able to negate quite a lot of that. Never mind, I lied, they lock Swain. He goes Swain instead. Swain also pretty good against the Akali, as his spells don't really require you to see the Akali to hit her with it in their large AoE abilities. So Shroud, while still strong, does not completely negate his kit, as it might a lot of mages. Now, of course, that could also be Swain's support. They do ban the Milio away. Ball State going to be looking at some jungle bans. There's the Lilia. Western, maybe another support ban here. Something like a Nautilus or something. I think they're just like an Enchanter player or something. Last I saw their OPDG. Senna getting banned away. And the Bard gone for Western. So Western on a pick here are going to have to reveal one of their flexes. The Nautilus goes down, so we know that's a Swain mid lane. Hello, my cat. You are so cute, and I will pet you. Soraka. Switches into the Renata last minute. Renata, very good pick this game, I have to say. I always want to root for my Westerners, so that means not rooting for the other teams. But Renata is an exceptionally good pick. You really don't see it that much anymore. It's just kind of pushed out of meta. The bailout's such a good ability, and the ultimate also really strong ability. And recently, other supports have just been out abilitying those abilities. So you haven't seen it much, but this game is just extremely strong. The disengage and peel into the Nautilus is very good, and being able to negate a one shot onto the Varus, which will be coming from the Nautilus R and the Ambessa R, is extremely strong as well. The set comes out, and that means that this is going to be an Mbessa jungle that we are seeing. And I'm very excited for that. Will certainly be a strong contender in the game. Set getting a counter matchup into the Aatrox as well. Hopefully, will be putting out some damage numbers from the top side. And then, of course, the Swain into a Kali matchup that we talked about before. And Swain is allowed to build a little bit of magic resist as well, which goes a long way in that matchup. Of course, won't go very long in terms of the game. As well, I guess the Varus does build AP these days, so Kali isn't solo AP.
Yeah, he can. The AP
I
and
think he
Varus
probably will.
did get super nerfed though, but it's still quite strong.
Yeah, we'll see. Regardless, going to be loading into the game here. Broncos locked in for game 2 of this series. Show some love in the chat. Let's see a Go Broncos thing going on in the chat. Wonder who's going to start that out. I see Piffich in the chat. Piffich, shout out Piffich. Very attractive person, very awesome person. Super, super cool. Everybody likes Piffich. I've never met anybody in my entire life that doesn't like Piffich. He's extremely awesome. Great guy. You should get to know him. Starting that chant. Good job. Shout out Piffich.
Shout out Pivich. My go.
Yep. And here we go. Loading into the game. Summoner spells, nothing looks strange. Other than a couple people taking flash on the wrong key. By a couple people, I
What's
mean
your flash key
Juman.
in your opinion? What's the superior
D is
flash
for
key?
flash. D is the flash
D
key.
is for flash.
And there's no other flash key. It's D or it's wrong. So we got Bin, Seal, Wolfblood, and Juman. Unfortunately, maybe misclicked or something. Oh, shout out Green Tank 5 in the chat. Also an extremely cool person. Let's get to know Green Tank 5. Everyone be Green Tank 5's best friend.
You're saying green tank, it's Greek.
Oh, Green Tank 5. Oh, same thing, man. I can't. As some trades start in the bot lane, as Party puts in a hook, is going to take a lot of damage from this Varus, who has his tempo stacked up now. Just not really a lane where they're ever allowed to fight. The Nautilus is shut out of existence by this Renata, and the best thing to hope for is some roams, as No Chill starts off with a nice E to get some stacks. Another trade from the bot lane, and Noodle finds himself at half HP. Sparty did pop a potion and regain some of that lost health. But right now, things are already not looking too great in the bot lane. It's just kind of how that goes with the matchup like Varus Renata, which is a extremely aggressive matchup.
Unfortunately,
They're
they are
sitting in
just
that
not
bush.
allowed to farm. They're just
Yeah, they're not allowed to
standing
farm.
there.
They're not even really allowed to get XP, as they're trying to deny as much of that as possible. Another root in the palm. I thought he almost took a Tur shot there. But so far in the mid lane, things are going pretty well. A tier start on Swain. Don't usually see that. And we'll see how that pans out for him. Noodle even lower now and almost in kill range as Party looks for a hook and burns about half his health in the process. They both have cookies, which is important. They both have those total biscuits of everlasting will in their inventories. And trying to collect on this wave. A triple crashed wave, triple stacked wave will net Ball State a plate 2 minutes into the game, which is, I'll say, pretty early for a plate. Party, half his HP. Noodle about a quarter of his HP left. Noah Chill earned a potion mid lane after losing about half his own HP. And these early trades have not been netting very well for Western's health bars. But Western's team is full of really strong late game champions. Of course, that Smolder being a stacking champion. Swain having stacks of his own, collecting some as we speak. As a handshake lands onto the Nautilus there for some chip damage. I'm going to be clearing those wards there. The Mbessa smartly recognizes that this is not a situation where she can contest, but she does get spotted on that ward. Was trying to get a recall there for some items and then contesting top scuttle, but seems now that she will have to give the top scuttle and not get any items off her recall as an engage from the bot lane, but this will not net very well, and Sparty Party finds himself in a bit of a predicament. Flashes away, gets handshaked back in, and the Varus Q does end up killing him. Meanwhile, the top lane, strong trades from Juman on a very bad wave for the Aatrox. This is exactly what they really needed, as the Aatrox is able to farm that cannon, but now his wave is frozen on Juman's side, and Juman is going to have to take as much advantage of this as possible. Aatrox taking a reset, will try to break it after getting item advantage. And it looks like it is broken anyway. Noah Chill doing very well in this matchup so far, has netted a lot of stacks and gotten CS pretty handedly. Is running a little low on mana here, and the Akali recognizes that, goes for an invade. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, the gap is pretty large, and it's it's to be expected from a lane matchup like this, but unfortunately, it will only get larger from here, I fear. It's more stacks from the mid lane. Fortunately, it does not land that W. It's burning his mana in the process of getting those things. But Juman breaks that freeze, gets a push here, and will try to get a reset of his own for item spike. Never mind. He's going to stay.
And look at that. We have Varus on boots already.
Yeah.
So
Didn't even get that kill. The Renata got that kill, but the early plate and all that CS has netted the Varus so much gold. And yeah, he's currently on tier 1 shoes to a longsword and a glowing moat. Meanwhile, Juman actually finding himself down a level, but does level up at the last second here. Aatrox burns his own ult, and now we're watching the Dragon Pit. Set ult. Oh man, they're fighting in the Dragon Pit after two things. Swain ult's popped into the Dragon Pit. That's so much damage. The flash from the Renata, but he's going to caught. Oh my god, this is a really good fight for Western. The Akali gets over the wall with the ultimate. Swain is hitting all of them. Roots onto the Renata, kills the Renata. The Dragon's getting really low. Swain does not get the Dragon. The Varus gets the Dragon, and the bailout on the Varus will preserve his life just barely, and a triple kill to the Varus, who I have to admit played that extremely well. I cannot believe he held his flash through that entire fight. Meanwhile, top lane, somehow neither of them died from that. I have no idea how neither of them died.
That's 3 kills on Varus now. It's definitely going to get a lot harder in this bot lane for Noodle.
Yeah, looking at the gold graphs, the Varus has
2,000 gold lead.
Yeah, 2,000 gold lead at 6 minutes. Not ideal. Less than ideal, for sure. And Western's game plan has to pivot from here. Can no longer play towards that bot side. Kind of have to abandon the Smolder, especially on a wave like this. I mean, the Smolder's already as good as dead. Does end up getting the cannon minion. And pushes the wave to the best of their ability. But now it is Ball State's wave to freeze. And Western can do not a thing about it. The best of being on the top side and not really willing to help this situation anyway. And Ball State about to hit level 6 as well. Noodle, just about on level 6 of his own, hits it off this minion. Oh, doesn't. Oh, he's like 2 minions away. And he does have to give XP on that minion, and it's just a sad state of affairs as the Akali moves from mid lane, and they have to give XP on these waves again. The wave is approaching that tower, and there's that minion. Oh, thank God for that minion. That minion just broke the freeze by doing a 360. Sparty Party looking for an engage. Scaring me, man. They're about to level 6. But that minion did a 360 around the wave, and the wave is now pushing back into them as long as they don't mess with it. And that is exactly what you want to see.
From Mbessa.
Wolfblood.
I don't know if they saw her.
Yeah, the Wolfblood has They did not see her, but I don't think it really matters. The Varus has such a massive lead, and they both have the ultimate ability available. Noodle still on the
Oh,
cusp of
hook!
level 6 as an engage happens. An ultimate from the Abessa as well. The Renata ult does peel them off very handedly. And oh my gosh, so much damage to the Abessa, who flashes in, tries to get some kills, but oh, that's a double kill. And I fear that they are not stopping there. Noodle. Wait, whole time I thought the mana bar was the XP bar on that left side. He tries to get some damage onto the
Oh,
Varus, but that was unfortunately
wow.
just not the play. They
Just
didn't have the
three more
damage for that.
kills to the Varus. Bot
Yeah,
lane is
they
just
didn't have the damage
straight
for
up
that, and they won't
unplayable.
anymore. Meanwhile, the Vi gets the grubs. Juman ults the Aatrox into his tower. The Aatrox has no flash, loses about half his health from that exchange. Juman trying to chase this and get more, but there is no more to get, unfortunately, and Aatrox gonna be able to recall and get some items for compensation. And yeah, things have not gone Western's way this game. I think maybe the the game plan again has to switch up. They have to just leave that Varus to sit in the bot lane and get gold from the minions and plates rather than the champions as well. But really, there's kind of no avoiding it at this point. He's strong enough that he will just start impacting the map whenever he wants. Juman taking a pretty poor trade in the top side does avoid that pull from the Aatrox W. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Wave seems to be neutralizing, pushing back into Western. That's the exact kind of wave state you really want, as an extremely good trade happens from that Akali. Takes about half of Noah's HP bar using her Proto Belt to clear the distance to reach with her Q. Noodle trying to just get some amount of stacks in this game. And the good thing about Smolder is it doesn't really matter how many items you have. As soon as you hit that stack breakpoint, you will be a strong character. As the Varus ult comes out onto the Nautilus, who does hook away but gets caught by the Renata R, starts autoing his own minions and falls to the Varus. Kill number 7 for that guy.
Yeah,
Juman looking for an engage
unfortunately,
here.
at this point in the game, we just have to play the stacking game, and hopefully that Ball State doesn't snowball as hard as we want them to during this time. But they're just playing. Ball State's obviously playing really well, and it's hard for Noodle to get those stacks.
Yeah, and playing between those towers right now, Ball State is very happy to do whatever they want here. Sparty Party hits level 6, gets rooted by the Renata, and is just going to die here. That
Oh,
Q takes him down to 1 HP, and the Vi is available with her ult, as well as the Akali, who gets a Proto Belt, does have to land that Q to get the kill, and down goes the Smolder as well. Yeah, definitely a difficult game. Hard to play this one for Western side. They definitely, I think they had a much better comp to deal with the demons in the first game, and their comp this game is it's an aggressive comp. You see the Smolder, you don't think it's aggressive, but you got to look at the other characters. It's a Nautilus to go along with the Smolder. It's an Mbessa in the jungle. It's an aggressive comp that unfortunately is not capable of doing the same things when they're behind, and especially to an extreme like this. They are very behind right now, losing their tower at 10 minutes, and Varus having 8 kills. Juman taking a very poor trade in the top side. Varus arriving in the top side to start hitting that tower. Knight's Vow finished from the Renata. It's just like every amount of gold that that Ball State gets at this point is all spent in hopes of keeping the Varus alive. As an ultimate lands to the Renata in the backline. Sparty Party's here as well for an ultimate, which he uses onto the Varus, who has the bailout and does get bailouted here. But now it's over in the set. Gets 1,000 gold from the Varus as they hit a huge convergence play up in the top side. An excellent flank from Sparty. I didn't even see Sparty was flanking there. That was so clutch from Sparty, and Ball State thinks they're kind of immortal at this gold lead, but they do. I'm sorry, Kat. They do end up collecting that shutdown onto the Varus. I don't know if Set's the greatest person for it, I probably would have preferred that on the Mbessa, but beggars can't be choosers, and in that situation, you got to take what you can get. And what they could get was that's a lot of damage. They could get was a lot of gold onto their top laner.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the lethality and Bessa here, we can kind of get her to the point where Varus can be one-shottable. And it's a little bit hard with the Renata though, and we saw from last game the support kind of just sits on their Poppy challenger player and doesn't really care about anything much else. So it's gonna be hard to kill
I mean,
Varus.
hey, they're winning with it. I'd do the same thing. If that was me, I'd do the same thing. They're winning with it. But yeah, with that bailout, it makes it a lot more difficult to, or else the Mbessa could just press R on the Varus and, have a heyday on him. But as a bit of a skirmish is happening on the top side, oh my god, this camera is giving me a headache. Staring at 7 things at once. No, stop it! Oh my gosh! As they are
We
just
just went
trying
back
to
and forth
not.
there.
I know, my head's spinning right now. Western is desperately trying not to give their top tower in this exchange, sending 4 players up to defend it, as Ball State sends 4 players to attack it, but I don't know how long they can hold it for, as Juman is left alone defending that tower, and Western has 3 people sitting in a warded bush, desperately trying to keep that tower alive. A flash forward from Juman does not land the ultimate to pick him into that. Nautilus goes through, but there's a lot of people in front of the Varus here who is now allowed to 3-hit, and there's a huge Renata ult in front of it. They're trying to get onto the Varus, but they just weren't able to. Oh, Juman could not hit the ultimate there in time, unfortunately. And Noah Chill trying to get some compensation, gets a flash, and is not able to pull the Varus into tower there. Oh, that was so sad. It really felt like Juman had the angle there to ult the Varus in, and either he just didn't do it in time, or he was CC'd. I think he might have been rooted by something, maybe the Varus ult, and he wasn't able to press R there. And that was just so unfortunate. That would have been a very handy pick to get, but it ends with a lot of Broncos dying, and unfortunately, 0 members of Ball State dying. Varus on a completed Gwinsu's Rage Blade now, and about 3/4 of his way to his next item, and the Smolder is trying to get to his first item here. Fortunately, still a ways away. Now, Western is playing the right game here. They're just trying to wait for all of their cooldowns to come back so they can make a convergence play like they did in the top lane and spend every cooldown they have on the Varus. Hope that, throwing everything at the brick wall is going to make the brick wall break, as they do have a bit of a catch here onto the Renata, who gets hooked. Varus ult does go out, but not going to be able to save the Renata as the kill goes to the Swain. And good pick there right before the dragon, and I don't know if it's going to make the difference. They might be able to hold the space for a little longer, but I'm not sure if that pick means they win the fight necessarily.
Juman's
But it
down
does look like Ball
here.
State is giving up that fight. Yeah, Juman does come down, but they give a lot of compensation top lane for it, as well as, they're just trading objectives with this. It's not actually that much of a lead that they're getting, but I would say any objective is a good objective for Western right now, being down quite a bit of gold, about 7,000 gold in this situation.
Yeah.
But they just closed that 6,000. And the teleport top will protect the tower, but all of those plates do go down in that exchange, unfortunately. The Rift Herald will fall as well pretty soon. And no one from Western is bot lane right now. The Swain does head down to defend that tower. It's a difficult game, for sure. A difficult game. Wish we could see Smolder stacks. He doesn't have the bounce yet. And I'm going to be honest, that's not a very good sign. Fimbulwinter completed and upgraded from the Swain. Don't really see that item that often these days.
Yeah, 17 minutes in, and Smolder not having the bounce yet is definitely not a good sign.
I mean, I have to believe he's at least close.
Um,
But yeah, the Smolder doesn't really become a part of the game until he hits 225 anyway. So at the moment, he's
True.
just doing what he can to blast at all the minions. As Wolfblood finding himself a little bit caught with this Vi walking up, but they're not ready to ult the Mbessa with no vision, so he is able to hold that space a little bit. Nothing really to hold it for other than that grump that he's taking right now. Party taking a ward here. As Ball State walks into Wolfblood's top side and takes it for themselves.
Seeing that top tower go down is definitely not a good sign either.
Yeah, it was bound to happen. I think that's part of the compensation. Oh, as a Varus ult comes
Vars
down onto the Nautilus, who also gets Vi ulted. I don't know what knocked him back there. Wait, what knocked him back? Oh, he somehow got a flash off in that exchange. I don't even know how. That was like a weird visual bug, I think. I don't know how the Nautilus got a flash off.
Yeah,
Anyways, it lived.
unfortunately, we also saw Smolder spend both Flash and Barrier in that little period of Sparty Party getting caught. Something we don't like to see, but we do see that Smolder has finally hit the bounce. So we're getting closer and closer towards that sweet, sweet spot. But
Yep.
until then,
Now all he needs
we
to
are
do
waiting.
is double his stacks, and then he'll be at execute. So he needs to do everything he just did to get here, he needs to do it again.
Yep, unfortunately, Ball State is on a 7K gold lead, which is just so tough to deal with right now.
Yeah, and it's been tough for Western, especially now that the Varus is building his tank items. Getting that Jack show will just make him extremely, extremely hard to kill. You know, of course, the Smolder dealing true damage, the Set dealing true damage, it might be helpful, but the Mbessa is just going to do less and less damage to that Smolder as the game continues. And that ward is going to be spotted. And Ball State poised to take the Baron here with their positioning, and they're certainly capable with the items they have. Western has to try to find some way to take the space without dying. Right now, they're just not able to do that.
Yeah, they kind of just got split there. So Ball State's finally heading towards Baron. They're hitting it now.
Yep.
WMU does not have vision, but I think they know that they're hitting it.
Yeah. They know that they're on it. Don't think it changes much for them. The Aatrox being a distraction in the mid lane, and there's really nothing to do about it. I don't even know if they can kill the Aatrox with all of them. 5 people from Western do converge into the mid lane. The Baron does go down.
Well, it appears that we have gone to kind of ARAM. It is 5v5.
Varus ult
Middle lane
lands
right now.
onto the Set here. Does get a lot of damage, about half health on all of them. And oh my god, that Smolder ult did no damage at all. Flash from the Aatrox pops the Swain ult, who now has to try to run away from the situation. A flash from Juman brings the Aatrox in. They're just trying so hard. The Mbessa ult goes wide, and nothing is coming from it. Noah has been ulting for 25 minutes now. A flash to try to avoid the Renata ult gets clipped by it anyway, but is now trying to retain his ultimate. It's still up, and he's still tickling. He hasn't really done any damage with it. It does finally fall. And yeah, this is unfortunately a part of the wallet gap, and Ball State is perfectly content taking their inhibitor and going to the bot tower. Probably going to get the dragon as well.
Has been extended to 10,000 gold. So it's getting bigger and bigger. The wallets are getting heavier.
As a fight is emerging.
The bottom lane. Hook lands, but no follow-up. So Sparty Party is dead.
By looking for an engage here, does not take it. Mbessa stuck, staying in the top lane, excuse me, waiting for the collie to push in and try to defend that wave, as a double stacked inhibitor wave is barreling down the mid lane as well. And hate to say it, but this looks like the beginning of the end for Western, as Noodle is way too far away from his execute threshold, as an engage onto the top side might net in the best of falling, and best that does fall. And now it is 5v4 to defend this base, as Set responds to the top lane to try to defend against it, and the rest of Ball State is trying to end the game. The Varus ult does go wide, and Noodle has popped his ultimate. Noodle has popped, and Noah has popped his ultimate, excuse me, and engage from the Vi onto Noodle. And now Juman is here with a big ultimate, lands onto the Varus, who flashes but gets caught anyway by so much true damage. And the Varus goes down, another shutdown to Juman. They were going to win this fight, it looks like. And Noodle is getting a lot of stacks from this exchange. Noah Chill still alive, still with his Tickle Monster ultimate. Gets a kill onto the Vi, and that's a shutdown as well. And they do lose pretty much their entire base for this exchange. But they get another 1,000 gold onto the set. Noah Chill gets some shutdowns of his own, and I think most importantly, honestly, Noodle gets a lot of stacks from that exchange. I don't know what he's at, but he's certainly closer to 225. And as soon as he hits that number, things actually do get a lot easier for Western. But at the moment,
Yes.
yeah, Bessa trying to sneak this dragon on this timer, but there's just there's no time to do that, as Ball State has already positioned into there. Noah TPing to this dragon, trying to contest it, but I mean, they got to get out of here. No, Juman also TPing to this dragon, as Wolfblood's taking his entire HP bar, has to ult in, does end up dying, and Juman's, I think they're sinking their ship right now. They got to get out of the situation, as the rest of Ball State has arrived. Noodle came to this dragon as well, and Sparty Party is left to defend the base. I mean, at this point, you got to try something, right? The next fight will end the game, and they decided to take it there where Ball State's a little bit split with the respawn timers, and unfortunately, Western was also split.
With Mbessa and Smolder down, Ball State will most likely end the game here. Open Nexus.
Nexus is open. The Varus wasting no time, just right-clicked on it, doing nothing else with his time, and set is going to go to Ball State. GG.
Yep, GG's. Well played by WMU Broncos once again. It was a tough game for them. I'm proud of them that they did as well as they did. It wasn't like a super stomp. So GG's. And make sure to follow WMU on our socials. And yeah, any closing statement, Max?
Yeah, I said at the beginning, this is an uphill battle. Western played extremely well. I think last set they played their best League of Legends in the last set last Wednesday, or I don't even know if they played this Monday. Last Wednesday was the best League of Legends I've seen them play. I'd say they played equally good today. It's just they're against opponents that are on a, unfortunately a different level, and they played very well. You should be very proud. Broncos standing right there, and I'm sure their coach Meridian is saying the same thing. But unfortunately, yeah, no win today. Tune in next Monday. I don't know who we're playing, but tune in next Monday for our next game. And yeah, thank you all for watching.